welcome back. All right, we're talking hard conversations with your parents. You need to tell your parents something important, but every time you think about bringing it up, your stomach gets tied in knots. All of us have felt this. It is super stressful. It can be overwhelming, but we've all been there. Those conversations with our parents, we know that we need to have, but we keep putting it off because it feels impossible or it feels uncomfortable. Regardless, it's something we know we have to do. Here's the thing. These difficult conversations can actually strengthen your relationship with your parents if you approach it the right way. So I'm going to continue to walk you through exactly how to have these talks step by step. So if you haven't watched previous videos, go back and check those. And I'm going to post a couple after this one. So if you're ready to finally have that conversation you've been avoiding, make sure to stick around until the end. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more advice about stuff like this. So today we are going to talk about creating space for their voice. Now, here's where a lot of people mess up. They go into all of these conversations thinking that they need to do all the talking or that they need to have all the answers. But actually, one of the most powerful things you can do is encourage your parents to share their perspective. Now, asking open-ended questions is super important. Instead of making statements or accusations, you try asking open-ended questions. So, for example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," you try, "How do you feel when we talk about this topic?" That's simple enough, isn't it? Instead of saying you don't understand, try saying something like, "What are your main concerns about this situation?" This is the key. When they start sharing, you start listening, like really listen. Now, not the kind of listening where you're just waiting for your turn to talk, but genuine, attentive listening without interrupting. And I know that can be hard for some of us because we always have something to say. It's tempting to jump in with your response, especially if they say something you disagree with, but you have to resist that urge. Let them finish their thoughts completely because sometimes parents just need to feel heard before they can actually really hear you. Another point I want to make is just honoring their independence. This is especially important if you're an adult having conversations with aging parents, but honestly, this applies to any age. You need to understand that your parents, especially as they get older, may have really strong feelings about their independence and their self-sufficiency, and that's completely normal and valid. Maybe you're concerned about your mom driving at night or your dad not taking his medication properly. Your concern comes from love, and that's so sweet. But if you approach it like you're the parent every time and they're the child, you're going to hit a wall every time. It's going to be fireworks. People are going to pop off, and it's definitely not going to be the conversation you thought you were going to have. So instead, what you should do is respect their wishes and preferences as much as possible, because that's what you would want too. Work with them. Don't work against them. And maybe instead of saying you can't drive anymore, say, "I've noticed you seem stressed about driving in the dark." Or, "What would make you feel safer?" They might be open to ride sharing apps or limited night driving or having family members available for certain trips. But overall, the goal isn't to make their decisions, it's to support them in making the best decisions for themselves. And that's what you would want. So here's the bottom line. Difficult conversations with your parents don't have to be something that you dread. When you approach them thoughtfully and with the right timing and the right mindset and the right strategies, they can actually bring you closer together. I know we forget it sometimes, but our parents are human too. They want to understand you even when it doesn't feel like that way sometimes. So sometimes they just need help knowing how to have these conversations just as much as you need help with them too. The relationship that you have with your parents is one of the most important relationships in your life. And so it's worth investing in even when it's hard work. So if this video helps you at all, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Tell me about a difficult conversation you're putting off. Maybe we can all support each other taking that next step. And if you want more content like this, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bells so you don't miss anything. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.